Hey design lovers, I'm Paige Gray, an interior designer with over a decade of experience in luxury interior design, and today I'm going to spill the beans and give you all the industry secrets on how to shop like an interior designer. Within this video, I'm going to do a brand tour of one of my favorite brands, Four Hands, as well as highlighting some of the products that I have come to know and love as a designer myself. Here's the deal, a lot of the best furniture brands and manufacturers out there don't sell directly to consumers. Many are trade only, which means that they sell to retailers or designers alike. But that doesn't mean that you don't have access to browse and be inspired by these product lines, or the ability to get those products directly to your door. The goal of this video is to put information in your hands so that when you're looking for furniture pieces to put in your home, you're well equipped with informative design decision direction that you can use immediately. My goal with this series is to pull back the curtain on the ominous furniture market, to share their product lines with you from the perspective of an interior designer, and allow you to be inspired and motivated to make intentional design decisions in your own home. Just because they don't sell directly to consumers doesn't mean that you can't get your hands on their incredible products. I have been using Four Hands for, I want to say, a little over a decade. They are always at the cutting edge of interior design trends, but more than that, they're forecasting in the forms and functions of their furniture pieces to bring you innovative designs that you haven't seen yet. Let's jump into their site together. I'm going to show you how I shop and which pieces are absolute must-sees in my opinion. Four Hands is like if Restoration Hardware had a younger, cooler, more laid-back cousin who studied abroad and got really into artisan details. Let's talk about seating right out of the gate. The stuff you lounge on, live on, and occasionally spill coffee on. Four Hands has had this category down to a science and an art. Whether you're a feet up, wine in hand kind of lounger, or you like your seating structured and sculptural, they've got options for every personality and every backside. Sofas and sectionals are where they shine. Deep, comfortable, and chic without being precious. These are the pieces that you want to flop into after a long day, but that still look elevated enough to impress your in-laws. Their accent chairs, I swear, each one of them is their own little design moment. Curved, angular, minimalist, cozy. Think of them as your home's version of statement earrings. And the ottomans and benches, as well as their stools, they multitask. Footrest, extra seat, tray table, stylish laundry pile holder, you name it. These pieces aren't just about filling space, they're about living beautifully, comfortably, and maybe even a little glamorously every single day. Here are some of my favorite lounge-worthy seating pieces from Four Hands. The Kent sofa is a collaboration between Amber Lewis and Four Hands. It is this beautiful sculptural piece with a heavy base and a very delicate leg. I love it in this Malmo olive color. There's something just rich and sumptuous about the velvet that pulls your eye in. I also love how tight of a seat it is. This is uncommon for me as I usually like to dip into a sofa that really hugs around me. But for more of a conversational living room, this sofa would be absolutely perfect. The Garland swivel chair is exactly the kind of sumptuous drop-in feeling I was just talking about. There is nothing about this swivel chair that makes you want to sit up and be proper. I picture myself lounged into the corner of it, my head propped up on that beautiful contemporary wing detail, with a leg tossed over the side and a good book in my hands. The Aniston chair is a cuteness overload. There is something so darling about it that when you amplify this sort of chunky weightiness of the upholstery with this noodle-like arm that's exaggerated in width, the simplicity of it really comes through, and I think that the fabric choices they've put together with the form of it are absolutely perfectly playful. I love it in this Solema cream. I feel as though it has more design longevity as opposed to the traditional boucle that we've been seeing around for the last couple years. I want to take a moment for this Coulter dining chair. I feel as though it is the perfect combination of an elevated farmhouse meets a slightly Danish undertone, but not screaming so. There's something so conversational about a traditional kitchen dining chair, the kind that you pop in for extra seating, and this has that body language in the form of it, but the upholstered cushion just gives it this really elevated touch that you could actually sit here for a long amount of time. Plus the leg is just so sweet and the back is ever so curved. It is the perfect classic kitchen chair. Moving on to tables, including dining, kitchen, desks, side tables, and console tables. Tables are more than just surfaces. They are where life happens. It outpours onto its surfaces, however gracefully you and your family do so. No judgment here. Four Hands really gets this. Whether you're hosting a holiday dinner or just eating cereal while answering emails, their tables are made for real life and designed to look really good doing it. Their dining tables come in all sizes and styles, chunky rustic woods with sleek back finishes, beautiful warm oaks and walnut tones. Whether you need to seat a crowd or just two in a high chair, they've got it. Console and side tables, these are your secret weapons. They slide into hallways, behind sofas, or next to chairs, and they immediately elevate the room. I love using them to anchor a lamp or stack some coffee table books. They add instant polish. Desks too here are so well done at Four Hands. Minimalist and modern, but not cold. They make even the most cluttered home office feel intentional, or at least give the illusion that you have it all together. These are hardworking, stylish surfaces that keep your home functioning and fabulous. Let's take a look at a few of my favorite tables from Four Hands. The Mika dining table has everything coastal going about it. I love how simplified the design of it is, but paired with the right dining chair, it could take on a more elevated tone. The finish in this whitewashed oak veneer is absolutely spot on to this emulated driftwood feel we get here on our coastline in the Pacific Northwest. And it is the perfect combination of rustic meets modern. The Maricopa coffee table, not only is it a mouthful to say out loud, it is so heavy in all the right ways with that beautiful dominating leg. I love it in this dark totem color. I feel like the weight of it is just perfect to add an element of black to any space. But it does also come in a very stunning worn oak that equally has my heart. The Millbrick console table is perfect for a family. I cannot stress enough the amount of stuff that we have in our catch-all drawer right by our front door. If I could divvy up the drawer space to each individual family member, in this case with this console table, I would do exactly that. There is more than enough room for every type of storage in this console table with 7 roomy drawers. The natural light oak on this piece is this perfect warm toasty undertone, and I love the grain in the wood as well. Storage doesn't have to be boring, and with Four Hands, it absolutely isn't. They turn function into a design statement. Their storage pieces are bold, sculptural, and beautifully finished, the kind of furniture that doesn't just hold stuff, but becomes part of your home's aesthetic. They have some beautiful curved front pieces that I just want to soak up into my own spaces. Overall, they feel designed and not at all mass-produced. Four Hands makes storage look sexy. We're talking sculptural bookcases, sideboards that double as art, and their office storage is so stylish it'll actually inspire you to file things. Maybe. No promises. Let's go over a few of my favorite storage pieces from Four Hands. The Brimley wide cabinet is this perfect lifted cabinet with these delicate little drawers underneath a lofty storage cabinet. Where I would love to see this piece in my own home is in my primary suite. Filled to the brim with my beautiful favorite sweaters, and the 2 bottom drawers I would utilize for jewelry. Although being that close to the ground, it may be welcoming too many tiny fingers to go and play dress up, but that's what life is all about. Taking a moment for this Tolly panel door cabinet, the arched top on this cabinet is absolutely stunning. In all of its finishes, in any room in your home, this cabinet is a breadwinner. My neighbor doesn't do anything to his yard for 12 months of the year and now decides to blow. If you hear some things going on in the background, it's just because my neighbor has decided to mow and blow right now, so it's unavoidable. I have 2 kids that are sleeping, so I really want to share this information with you. Bedrooms should feel like a retreat, a calm, cozy escape from the rest of your day, and Four Hands delivers that energy in spades. Their beds are sophisticated but approachable. Whether it's a solid oak frame or an upholstered headboard with the perfect subtle texture, these are pieces that anchor the room in style. This whole category is about creating a bedroom that feels intentional, even when you're half asleep scrolling TikTok and negotiating with tiny humans at 3 a.m. Here are some of my favorite bedroom pieces from Four Hands. The Emma bed is a perfect representation of understated luxury. The channel upholstered headboard is the perfect cozy backdrop for a good book. and the streamlined bed box itself makes it easy to tuck in your bedding or let it free flow like we all do. The Inwood bed is this perfect, lovely, sumptuous, oversized, ravioli stuffed yumminess. Overall, it is a very grand look, but if you pair it with a casual, relaxed linen duvet, it's going to have such a billowy, luxurious feel in any bedroom. The Soto large nightstand is such an elegant piece in black. I love the practicality of the 2 drawers, but I also really appreciate the delicate shelf floating above it. The Poppy nightstand by Amber Lewis and Four Hands is another beautiful collaborative piece. I feel as though this would be perfect in a children's bedroom or a guest space. There is something just so whimsical and playful about a cabinet next to the bed. Lighting is this single best glow up you can give your space, and Four Hands, they get it right every time. Their lighting collection ranges from soft and subtle to a complete wow statement. These are the kind of lights that double as art. What I love most is how everything coordinates without being matchy-matchy. It's all about creating layers of light that feel collected over time, just like your home. My favorite lighting piece from Four Hands is the aged brass Charisse chandelier. Slightly Art Deco, but not overly so, this is the perfect balanced chandelier that I would see placed over a dining table or even a kitchen island. All right, deep breath, because this next part is my absolute favorite category within the Four Hands collection. The Four Hands Art Studio is an online goldmine of contemporary prints, abstract paintings, photography, and most of it is made to order. This isn't filler wall art. It's real, thoughtful, stunning pieces that make your home feel curated and cultured without trying too hard. Art can completely change how a room feels, and Four Hands Art Studio is one of the most underrated gems on their site. Their collection is rich, moody, abstract, organic, all of the words designers love, and much of it is made exactly for you. That means you get scaled options, print finishes, framing choices. You get art that feels like you. Not mass-produced, not cookie-cutter, and definitely not the same piece your neighbor has. Let's walk through some of my favorite artists represented in the Four Hands Art Studio. Let's take a moment for Tyler Gwynn. I love his work in the Four Hands collection. It is perfectly textural and the color nuances are absolutely gorgeous. Eileen Fitzgerald is the perfect artist for you if you are looking for an ethereal glow. I also really appreciate how she composes the art pieces. Rather than doing a stretched canvas, she takes a loose canvas and pins it to a board. This gives such a museum quality look that is very unique to her work. Dan Hobday does these beautiful, sculptural, bold black and white pieces. I've used one in a dining room before. It has such a statement feeling to it and a great conversation starter. Speaking of an ethereal glow, Tony Toscano is where you want to go for sculptural wave pieces. The way that it is printed on raw canvas gives you such a textural component to photography that I haven't seen before. It's loose and feels almost like a whimsical dream. Douglas Galloway does these perfectly oversized pixelated pieces. They add a punch of color to any space. As an artist, from my perspective, he feels very story-driven. A lot of his work is driven by spirituality or just general ongoings in his life that he's interpreted into his work. They are made by hand in his studio by layering wood, wax, and paint. Lastly, I cannot get away from the Four Hands Studio art collection without talking about Matera. These oversized, sumptuous pieces are the perfect solution if you want that wallpaper feel but are too scared to commit to an entire wall. When I say oversized at 48 inches by 94.5, this is an extreme form of art. And clearly I get very jazzed about it. I always like to lean into artists that have mastered a big canvas. There's something very confident about it to me. I was told by an art teacher once that once you go big, you can't go small again. And I feel as though when people have overcome the fear to working on large pieces, there's something just very inspirational about it that I love to get behind. Okay, now that I've highlighted some of my favorite product categories and specific products that I have used as an interior designer in my own practice and studio, how do you get your hands on them? I'm gonna include a card up here that walks you through some very economical time and money saving tips that you can use on the Four Hands website to get deals for yourself and get products shipped directly to your door. Sometimes this means just approaching the internet with a little bit of wisdom in your boots. In this case, every single product on the Four Hands website is available through some retailer or another. And by following the steps in this video, I walk you through how to get the products to your doorstep for the most economical price. However, having said that, it is not just about getting the best price for the product you have in mind, but being aware of the products that are available to you. By pairing the brand walkthroughs that I'm doing in this series from the perspective of my own self as an interior designer, alongside some shopping tips that you're going to utilize in this other video, you are going to come to a place where you realize that the world of manufacturing and furniture design is so much bigger than what you think. And the options that are available to you are going to be so diverse, you're not ever going to want to settle again for what's around the corner at your local home sense. My goal at Paige Studios is always to put the power back in your hands as an end consumer and a homeowner. Whether you work with me as a virtual design client through one of my packages, I'll pop a link down below, or are simply inspired and motivated from my YouTube series here, it is my vision to give you all of the tools and resources to be inspired and motivated for all things interior design, to realize that the world is your oyster and anything is possible. There are so many ways to connect with me outside of the world of YouTube. If you are looking for daily motivation and inspiration in the form of ongoing vlog activity with me and my life, my design studio, go check me out over on Instagram at Paige Studios. You can see my entire portfolio at pagegray.com. All of these links are down below for your convenience. I would also love to take a moment to highlight my free course for homeowners. It is an interior design guide that puts the power back in your hands, because quite often even the most monumentous design mistakes that happen during a renovation or construction can be avoided simply through awareness. And in this module, I cover everything you need to know about interior design projects, the things you see and the things you don't, so that you can plan best practices in everything from purchasing and managing trades and skilled professionals to becoming aware of very costly unknowns ahead of time to save yourself the heartache. It is my gift to you. I hope you enjoy it. Please peruse it. The link is down below. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you've enjoyed this tour of Four Hands. I love all of their products. I appreciate your time you spent here with me, and I will see you on the next video.